So Ben, I heard may passion ka daw for books.
As long as I could read, I've been an advocate and I've been passionate about reading books. Actually, it's more the not the books itself, but the stories that you can learn
Yeah,
from it.
yeah.
Uh, or creative writing, anything that has to do with storytelling is something that I've been passionate about.
Well, personally, ako rin, I love books, so I think this is gonna be an interesting interview.
I heard a rumor.
Yeah, what's the rumor?
I heard you read 41 books this whole quarantine. We've been in quarantine for what, 73 days? So you pretty much read a book every 2 days?
Congrats, man.
How did it all start? When did you realize that you have a passion for reading?
Well, when I was growing up, we didn't take summer vacations. Basically, pag summer sa school, pag walang pasok, nasa bahay lang kami. Both of my parents had to work, so it was either going on the internet or reading books. Uh, Thankfully, we have a good public library system in Guam, so where I'm able to read books that way. I've always if it started from reading comic books for one, collecting comic books. I still have the collection I've had with comic books. Wala lang dito sa Pilipinas. Tapos magazine articles, just anything that's interesting to me or that spikes my interest. Talagang I read about it. Yun naman maganda doon. It's hard I think, to instill people or instill the young ones now to force them to read books na hindi naman nila gusto. So I think when it's something interesting to them, I think you don't have to push them too much para magbasa. That's the same with me. If I find a topic that's interesting or I have to learn about a topic, I would dive into reading.
I agree. So you started with comics at around
Yeah.
what age?
Siguro 5 years old. I
5 years
used to
old.
go to I was still here, so to go to film bars a lot. I used to always uh, it's either the X-Men or
Yeah.
at that time with
Superheroes,
Street
of
Fighter.
course.
Image, yeah. So I know that's where mine started. And then of course when the Disney movies came out, palagi may companion yung pelikula na yun with a book version of it. So yun yung binibigay sa akin plus my dad was already in Guam. Pag may pasalubong, yun yung pasalubong niya because yeah. So yun yung mga books, I have the Aladdin, Lion King, basta yung mga during that time yun yung so I wasn't reading novels at the
Okay.
beginning.
No, it's
I
a
mean,
book. It's a book.
the main thing is the passion for reading, not naman the passion necessarily for book per se or novels.
Yeah.
Kasi pag naisip ng mga tao kadalasan pag sinabi, oh, you're passionate about reading, laging libro or yung
Yeah.
mga 500 pages.
Yeah.
Did you know that the most expensive book ever sold is Da Vinci's Codex Leicester? It is a manuscript that dates back to the 16th century. The said journal was bought at an auction by billionaire Bill Gates for $30.8 million.
So you're in your journey of discovering this passion for reading. You thank your dad for it. Like you said, he give you
Yeah,
movies, and then or
I
was
would
this
think
purely
so.
a self-discovery?
Malalaman mo naman passionate ka about something later on pa eh. Pag merong nag-articulate sa'yo na, passionate ka sa books, no? Tapos malalaman mo pala na, I think same goes with acting. When you find out I think that the main thing is that you're enjoying it. That's what I was enjoying. I was enjoying the art of learning about storytelling. Paano ba nag-develop yung mga characters. Tapos yung imagination mo. One of the very first novels that I've read was yung Harry Potter. That's the first one I've read from end to end na talagang libro na fiction.
Actually, I want to agree with you there. Kasi yun nga, parang for me, when I read books, mas na-inspire pa ako sa mga fiction books compared to the non-fiction.
Yeah.
So it's not just what's the content, it's what you absorb, the meaning, the lessons you absorb from it. So I'm assuming up to now, your favorite genre is fiction or
With me,
yung mga type of books mo?
right now I read a lot of poetry books.
Poetry.
I don't necessarily dive into graphic novels or like again for me kasi I'll make a confession. I didn't like reading The Lord of the Rings, but I love watching it. Again, people would say that the book is much better. But again, sometimes, kasi for me, that medium of watching it in film works better. Maybe because my imagination is not as as good as the rest. Pero yun, but for me, poetry is really the best. It's really what I read a lot about. Basically, all the books here are pretty much poetry books. Oh, tama. Because that's what I want to. That's what I try to write now. I've tried to do. I've
Oh,
tried
you
to
also
write.
write.
Yeah. Na-try ko magsulat ng story, but ang hirap eh. I even have a book about how to write narrative design. I don't think it's here, but yeah. But yun nga, parang sa mga aktor, meron magagaling sa comedy, may magaling sa drama, or actually a lot of them can do both. And then they'll say that pag actor ka, kaya mo naman gawin pareho ba sa totoo, doon ka sa totoo, sa truth. So yun yung parang for writing, I think that's the same. I think some people thrive in poetry, some people thrive in storytelling. Pero again, they can do both. Just as long as it comes from a place of truth. Even yung mga fiction always come from a place of truth. That's the only reason. That's the only way na nakikita mo yung pagka-human yung character, right? Am I correct? The guy could be in space. The guy could be a warlock. The guy could be. It doesn't have to be necessarily a human creator related to that. In fact, most of the people that superheroes alone, that's who I related to when I was young. They're not technically people. So, but again, it's the very human aspect, and I think it's the truth coming from the books that we read.
Hi mga Kapuso, Gabby Garcia here.
This is Elijah Alejos.
This is Kate Valdez.
GMA Artist Center finally has its own YouTube channel!
Kaya mga Kapuso, I'm inviting you to subscribe to GMA Artist Center's YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/GMA Artist Center.
Like every video and share and hit that notification bell to get the latest Kapuso updates.